pure acoustic thing.
What is the place of lust, passion? Where does that fit in with love? I mean, why? There's a lot going in there, and you can be really divided with yourself. I always talk about the prostitute and the virgin sitting and having spaghetti together, sharing a plate. And once they started to do that, we could... My head wasn't knocking around so much all the time. In my later teens, I just had to get away from the piano. It was just too tied to me, too much. So I did everything, and I tried everything, and I skinned my knees a bit. And that's how you learn. I mean, I think that we're not encouraged to really go out and explore ourselves. Well, it's okay, it's safe to try things. What is this making a fool of yourself? So what? I had to look at what was really making me so angry. Why was I so angry? I was just so angry, ripped to shreds. I would just stand in the middle of the room sometimes where people were around me and have to get out because I was just ready to rip the place apart. But you know, you just keep your smile on and leave graciously because you don't want them thinking you're a nutter. You're out of your head.
Did you find out what you were so angry about?
Finding, yeah. We talk a lot about it in this record. We all have the capacity to be violent, and we can all be cowards. And I think that we take on these ideas of what we should be instead of what we are. And I just got really sick of it because I'd be at a party and I'd want to kill somebody, and I couldn't understand why. I mean, what is it that you could say that could set me off so much? You know, you feel things. And I wanted to know my own mind. I wanted to know, if I want to kill you, I want to know why. And then it comes back to me. It's my relationship with myself.
And so you hadn't had that relationship with yourself for a long time.
No.
And
no, I think I could justify anything. It was much easier to deny everything, to pretend that I wasn't hurt or that I wasn't angry. And a lot of it's going back to being a child. Right. When you're really, really little, you know, you're honest. You say, I really don't like you. And you don't feel guilty about it. It's okay. You don't have to be friends with everybody. I really believe we have to work with the adult and the little kid and the ancient being inside ourselves. You know, we're made up of all these things. If you, in ancient mythology, they would show the young priestess with the witch woman fertility and the old crone with the wisdom.
Right.
And it's past, present, and future all conjunctioning at one time. And with men, it's being okay to have that little boy. It's being okay to have that, as well as his wolf, as well as his old man. You know, we're not encouraged to be all these things.
Has anyone ever told you that you're an old soul? Have you heard that before? Because talking to you right now, I feel like you've, you know, come back so many times. You're an old soul. There's a really interesting wisdom in what you have to say.
I think that all of us, I believe in having lived before. So I believe that all of us have. And the only difference is acknowledging it. I used to run, because I'm a minister's daughter with Christian theology, I used to run away from the idea of having lived before. It was so final, it was so absolute. Born, die, heaven or hell. And that to me is just really kind of silly. I mean, if I died and I only lived for, say, 27 years, then what, I'd be hanging out with Jesus and having what kind of conversations? I mean, it's all about soul growth, really. That's what I believe in. And I don't feel like there are those that are the haves and then the have-nots. It's all of us recognizing, I don't care what money you make, I don't care what your position is. If we were all stripped of everything and put in the desert, what would we have?
And if I die today, I'll be the happy phantom.
and I'll go chasing the nuns out in the yard, and I'll run naked through the street without my mask on, and I will never need umbrellas in the rain. I'll wake up in strawberry fields every day, and the atrocities of school I can't forget. The happy phantom has no right to bitch. Woo-hoo, the time is getting closer. Woo-hoo, time to be a ghost. Woo-hoo, every day we're getting closer. The sun is getting dim. Will I pay for who I've been? Yeah. So if I die today, I'll be the happy phantom, and I'll go wearing my naughties like a jewel. They'll be my ticket to the Universal Opera. There's Judy Garland taking Buddha by the hand, and then these 7 little men get up to dance. They say Confucius does his crossword with a pen. I'm still the angel to a girl who waits to sin. Woo-hoo, the time is getting closer. Woo-hoo, I'm time to be a ghost. Woo-hoo, every day we're getting closer. The sun is getting dim. Will we pay for who we've been? Yeah. Will I see you, dear, and wish I could come back? You found a girl that you could truly love again. Will you still call for me when she falls asleep? Or do we soon forget the things we cannot see? Woo-hoo, the time is getting closer. Woo-hoo, time to be a ghost. Woo-hoo, day we're getting closer. The sun is getting dim. Will I pay for who I've been? Yeah. And if I die today, and if I die today, and if I die today, I'll chasing nuns out in the yard. Na 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 na, na 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 na.
Mean Again is the kind of song that the media tends to sensationalize, and I don't want to. And yet I still can't help wondering, I know it would be cathartic, or I think it would be cathartic to write a song like that, but is it cathartic to actually perform it time and time again?
Was me and a gun and a man on my back, and I sang Holy, Holy as he buttoned down his pants.
Each night that I sing it, I go into a trance, and I feel really freed singing it. It's exhausting singing it, but at the same time, I can sing it, which is something I couldn't. I wrote that in London. That was the last one. That and China were the last ones to get on the album. And Me and Again I saw after seeing Thelma and Louise. And after I saw Thelma and Louise, it reminded me of something that happened to me, an experience that came back, and I wrote it in a parking lot in London right before a show.
Yes, I wore a slinky red thing. Does that mean I should spread for you? your friend, your father, Mr. It was me and a gun and a man on my back, but I haven't seen Barbados, so I'ma get out with it.
That song, it's funny how the album was held up till that one got on.
Completion?
Well, just putzing around, this and that, and you know, everything, something wasn't ready, and I wrote this, and I came out with an EP in the UK first, which was Me and a Gun, with Silent All These Years on it, which got all the airplay in the UK. Writing this album was accepting the vamp in me, accepting the self-righteous virgin that's just so shameful, accepting the warrior, and accepting the mother, you know, accepting all these sides. I wonder when I'm going to get used to it. I keep going, is there a time when you'll just know that this is not going to stop? And you better learn to, if the butterflies come, you just have to fly with them a bit.